Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks Best Country, 105.1 The Bull.
Hi, this is Joy Robertson. As many of you know, I love food. I love finding new restaurants. I love trying new dishes. And most of all, I love talking to the many great restaurateurs and entrepreneurs we have here in the Ozarks and beyond. I love hearing their stories, and that's what this podcast is all about, learning more about them and their journey. So join me as we savor the Ozarks. There's a place in Springfield that's decked out for the holidays like no other place you have ever seen. Those of you who've been around for a while know exactly what I'm talking about. This little place that's right on Walnut Street, and it's owned by a group of people, Clay and Ann Baker, and Chris and Nicole Brown. And Nicole Brown took time out of her busy schedule, her decorating, her menu planning, to tell me about this little place where every nuance just screams happy holidays. So enjoy. Well, if you're not in the Christmas spirit yet, you will be if you come to downtown Springfield and sit where I'm sitting right now. And it only happens this time of year. We're getting right around holiday time. And I'm on Walnut Street at a place that's currently being called J.Ho.Ho.B. You've heard of J.O.B. Public House. Well, this is J.Ho.Ho.B. for the holidays, and Nicole Brown is going to fill me in on this place. It is like a Christmas wonderland in here. This particular room we're in is holiday time only, correct?
That's correct, yeah. We'll be open through at least until the end of December, but possibly through January.
It has to take a minute to get all of these decorations up. How long have you been working on it?
We started with our staff on September 1st, and we have been consistently decorating through to last week, which was our soft opening, just to kind of test run with our friends and family and see how we did. So we're officially ready, I think.
I think you look like you're ready. So the space we're sitting in, and a little history here, the space we're sitting in now was Harpo's at one time. Mm-hmm. J.O.B. Public House is to our east, our immediate east. You have a great space over there. It goes out into the beautiful patio. But this particular space, you don't do stuff with it all year long. However, last year, apparently, you thought, hey, wonder if we did a little something for the holidays. How did that come about?
Well, we bought the building in December of 2023, and we bought it because our friend Danny Schlink, who had J.O.B. prior, we had Mud Lounge next door, and I had known him since through college. We were both history majors, and so he loved Christmas, and I mean loved Christmas. So and he also loved having lots of things. So we bought the building, and it still held all of the things that he had collected since he bought it. And so going through those, we thought we have a ton of Christmas stuff. And so it started out with just kind of doing a dedication to him, and it's kind of like taken on its own life since then. So.
He passed away suddenly and tragically, I don't know, a little over a year ago maybe? Is that or a couple of years ago?
It'll be 3 years.
It'll be 3 already?
Yeah,
okay.
It was December 22nd of 22, so it was just a few days before Christmas, and so the place, when we bought it, was still, a lot of it was still decorated with Christmas. And so we took it down that year because we had bought it just after Christmas the following year. So we took it down, and then we kind of were assessing all of the things through the building, and we're like, well, this is silly. Well, let's just put it back up. So that's how it started.
Did he have it opened up and decorated the way you do now? Did he do that?
Yeah, it was very decorated through December over here. But it was also a ping pong bar, so it was super. It wasn't a Christmas pop up per se, but I mean it was a lot of Christmas decorations. But in the vein of a ping pong bar, which a lot of people were passionate about, and I didn't know until Danny Schleek introduced it to downtown that people love ping pong apparently. So.
You and your husband have Mud Lounge. How long have you run that business, owned and operated that one?
Just a little over 7 years. We had decided to purchase a bar because we both had a background in restaurant, and so we knew Brian and Rob over at the Mud House. And Brian came to my cycling class that I taught one day at the Y, and said, "Well, why don't you just buy the Mud House or Mud Lounge?" And we said, "Okay." And then that's how we got into the bar business.
What was your background in restaurants and hospitality?
I bartended through college, and so that's how I met my husband. He was my manager at Ruby Tuesday through college, and yeah, that's the rest is history.
Okay, so you end up with the Mud Lounge, which is arguably one of the most successful places downtown. I mean, it's just a great spot. But you are also a realtor. Mm-hmm. You and I are both realtors at Murney, and I don't ever talk about that, but I can't ignore it now because of you. So you're a busy lady. How much time do you spend doing Mud Lounge and doing the J.HO.HO.B and the J.O.B and all the other things?
Well, for the most part, we have business partners over on the J.O.B side. So for the most part, my husband manages that aspect of J.O.B and the Mud Lounge. I do some of the marketing. I do the artwork. We do a quarterly exchange of artwork. And then I help with this side through the holidays of J.Ho.Ho.B. But for the most part, I'm a realtor, and that's how I make my living. So
I know how busy that can keep you. Believe me, I completely get it. So last year when you opened this J.HO.HO.B, did it exceed your expectations? I mean, I'm assuming you expected people to turn out, but holy cow, it was packed.
Yeah, I mean, us with our business partners, Ann and Clay, we just decided to put all of the Christmas stuff up and just see if people came. And holy moly, they came. So the biggest thing was the I Love Springfield came through last year and just did a little video. And I think it got like 30,000 views in the first few hours, and people kept sharing it. And from that point forward, there was a line out the door before we opened, and we ended up having to open more days. And we also were in no way prepared for that kind of business. So we had to find staff and hire more staff. And so this year we have an amazing coordinator. Her name's Roxy, and she's done a really good job of just kind of keeping us all organized. And so we have staff this year that can really hopefully keep up with demand that we weren't expecting last year. So,
well, it's worth your time to come in here if you haven't been already. And just looking at the ceiling, I don't know how many hundreds, I guess, of Christmas balls are hanging, each individually that would have to be strung and hung. There's tinsel. There's I don't know how many Christmas trees on the floor and also on the ceiling. The place is wrapped with wrapping paper and tinsel. As far as I can see, there are giant snowflakes. There are some movie characters that you will recognize and appreciate. I think there was kind of an animatronic sort of Santa here last year. You got him again?
We have animatronic Star Wars Christmas characters that are, I think, maybe 10 foot tall. We do have several Santas. I can't think of any that move at the moment, but we do have several moving animatronics, and we also, for this year, for the first time, have a photo station that everybody can get their groups together and take photos.
Well, when I was in here last year, it could be that maybe the Santa just laughed and talked. I don't know, but I thought he moved around. Anyway, I'll look back at my TikTok and see what it was like. What are some of the reactions, Nicole, that you've had when people come walking through the door and see this lit up? They see it, they hear it. What do they say?
I think the first example that comes to mind is one of my best friends came in with his two daughters, and his little girl Hazel came in with a snowflake dress on, so she was ready for it. And she is one of those little girls that just yells everything that she says, which I find incredibly endearing. But she just ran in here. She's like, "Nicole, it looks like Christmas threw up everywhere in here." And I thought that is that's a good description of what we did. It looks like Christmas threw up everywhere.
So whatever she sees, she just throws it out there. So you need to get Hazel back in here and make sure it's done right. I'm sure she'll let you know.
Oh yeah. The kids don't lie.
What about the adults too? I mean, you're bound to have had. You have a photo area now, which says a lot because honestly, you must have had a bajillion photos come out of this building last year in the short little time you're open for the holidays. And people were not shy to get up and walk over to someone else's area where they're sitting because of their background. They want to, get their background in the picture. So now you've kind of got a dedicated photo area. Describe it for me.
Yeah, we found last year that we got a lot of groups of women, a lot of book clubs, bunco clubs, but they get together every Christmas to celebrate their relationships, and so we noticed them all taking pictures together, and just thought we'd give them a really bright, shiny place a background to take their pictures, and so that's been the coolest thing is that. That's always your goal in the hospitality industry is to create a community, and we're getting other people's communities coming into our community and a lot of people who normally wouldn't come downtown. That's been the best part. A lot of people are coming downtown that normally wouldn't, and they're figuring out where to park. And there's plenty of parking if you just know how to figure it out. And so that's been really cool too, is just to open up how cool downtown is to a lot of people that normally wouldn't come.
I love our downtown. I absolutely love our downtown. I always have fun. I come to Art Walk. I love walking around and going in and out of the different places. But you're right, something like this will draw people that may not venture here otherwise.
Yeah, that was something we weren't expecting last year too. Was just, I've heard people say in the bar industry that we're all kind of sharing the same group of people who go out. A lot of the same college students or groups of people, but this was a new group of people, and that was really exciting.
Oh, yeah, there were people of all ages coming in and out when I was here. Is the arch different when you walk in under the arch? I don't remember that arch being here. Did you have that last year?
Nope, that's something new that we added. Okay. We added this year. We're trying to do a different theme every year. So last year we kind of did the classic Christmas because we had a lot of figurines and things like that. This year we were looking at what we had, and we have a lot of shiny stuff. So this year our theme is flashy flash, or a little bit more shiny than. So who knows what we'll do next year? We don't want to talk about that yet.
So I want to talk to you about J.O.B. Public House, and then I want to talk to you about how the menu may be a little bit different over here, particularly, I guess, drink-wise. Is it just so much fun coming up with cocktails, holiday-themed cocktails, and the names of them and all of that? Tell me what you got this year.
We have several themed cocktails. There's the Sleigh All Day. The rest are coming. My brain is blanking, but they're all cleverly Christmas themed cocktails. And so you can only get those cocktails over on the J.Ho.Ho.B side. We also have some shots, but you can also get all of the J.O.B food over on the J.Ho.Ho.B side. And you can also get the J.O.B drinks on the J.Ho.Ho side. So the only difference is, if that wasn't confusing enough, you have to be on the J.Ho.Ho side to get the themed Christmas drinks.
Okay, duly noted. Do you have a menu?
Yeah.
You want to run get a menu?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I want to talk about this. I want to get into this for sure. So send her a little errand to grab me a menu because it's worth it to hear all of the different drink items and the catchy names they came up with for these drinks. Okay, tell me, you got a menu for me now. Tell me about what we've got this year.
Well, we've got the That's It, I'm Not Going, which is a peppermint espresso martini. We've got the Sleigh All Day. It's a gin old fashioned. Grandpa's Hot Chocolate, which is a boozy hot chocolate. Also has the toasted marshmallows on top. The Krampus in Cancun, that so far has been our biggest seller. It's a holiday margarita, and it comes in a Christmas ornament, and you can dump the margarita into the glass. The Fleece Navidad, it's a creamy, cold, I don't know how to say that word, sorry.
Let me see, which one is it? The Fleece Navidad. A creamy, cold Carajillo?
Yeah.
I have no idea if that's right. Rum chata, Mud House cold brew, and liquor 43. What's that?
So it's basically an espresso martini is what it is. So the Christmas Vacation, it's a festive sangria. The Grinchy Grinch, it's a Grinchy whiskey sour, and it's obviously green. And
That's what makes it Grinchy. That was my question.
Right. Okay. And You Filthy Animal, a J.O.B. take on the Manhattan. So those are, and then we also have 2 shots, the Snickerdoodle and the Santa's Balls. The Snickerdoodle is Buffalo Trace Bourbon, Evan Williams Bourbon, Eggnog, and Mr. Boston's Butterscotch Schnapps. And then the Santa's Balls is Fireball, Cinnamon, Whiskey, and Evan Williams Bourbon and Eggnog.
Nothing says holiday time like Santa's balls.
Right? We'll probably, we're going to have some theme nights too, so we're probably going to have a Dirty Santa at some point in here. So just check out our website, and we'll have our events.
Can kids come in here?
Until 8 o'clock. So it's family friendly, but after 8, we consider it a bar. So bring your kids at your own risk.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, some people, because I runs in my mind last year, I think we watched the tree lighting, and people were coming in to see the decorations, which is so much fun to bring the kids to see the the decor that you've got going on here. How much fun is it to come up with this menu? Were you part of this?
For the most part, it was my husband, Chris, and Clay. They're the ones that are really crafty at coming up, especially with inappropriate ones. But yeah, so they are the ones that really are the mixologists, and then along with our manager, Bree. She does a really fantastic job with them as well.
All right, let's move over, not physically, but let's talk about the J.O.B. Public House and how it got started. And by the way, I asked you when I first got here, and I did not know where J.O.B. Public House got its name and what it stood for, but you were telling me the origin of how that came to be. Repeat that story for me.
Well, I'll back up and say whenever I met Danny, we met in college, but we also hung out at the same places, and he was a server at the Rasta Grill. So, but then the Rasta Grill was down on West Walnut, where now the vodka bar is, Inner Circle Vodka Bar. Mm-hmm. And so, but when he started grad school, it was in the original location that the Rasta Grill started. So that's why it still has like the Rasta pasta and some things like that to pay dedication. But he started grad school. And so and it took off. It was a huge success because the food was so great. He built a team in that restaurant that just, they built some really magical dishes. And so
it was a great spot, and it was over here on Jefferson in a small space, like a little house, as I recall it.
Yeah.
And it was wildly popular, and you had to kind of get used to a wait if you went over there.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. So, but he was ready to start kind of a bar version of his concepts, and he really loved coming up with these concepts. And so he started J.O.B., which after you get out of grad school, you should, most people go get a job. And so that's where the name J.O.B. Public House came from. And so and it was also really why we bought this building, was to keep it exactly the same is what it was. He had it for 10 years, I think, when he passed away. So like that was our main goal, was just to keep it open and keep it as exactly the same as we could.
Tell me about the menu over there.
The menu, so a lot of it were things that Danny came up with after he started J.O.B., but whenever grad school, the building was purchased by the company who was building an apartment building over there, so they purchased that building to get more parking. And so whenever they demolished the old grad school, he brought over a lot of the menu items from grad school as well. So the most popular is the full ride burger. It's a double smash burger with soft cheddar, caramelized onions, and bacon, and it is good. We also have the Micah's chicken. So it's our own sauce, but it's an Asian-inspired sauce, sort of like a General Chicken, but obviously better. We have really great French fries. They have brown sugar on them, which is something unique. But yeah, we have Cody Raw. It's a in-house made veggie burger. A lot of people sleep on that one, but it is delicious. And but yeah, it's a solid menu.
It strikes me as comfort food meets bar food. Is that fair?
It's exactly right. Yes, yeah. It's really good bar food, and we also are open until midnight. So there's not a lot of places open that will serve food that late.
And you've got things like wings.
Oh yeah.
And you've got, what is it, cauliflower wangs?
Cauliflower wangs. We've got regular wings. We've got pizza balls are a big popular one. So we've got cheese and pepperoni pizza balls.
Those are delicious. Last time I was here, I think, or it was one of the recent visits, we were out on your back patio and enjoyed some of those pizza balls. Those are great.
It's hard to beat a ball of fried cheese.
Yeah. I mean, how would you go wrong with that?
Yeah.
What are some of your other popular dishes here?
Obviously, the Rasta pasta. That was the original Rasta pasta from the Rasta Grill.
Remind me what all's in the Rasta pasta. It's a spicy dish.
It's a Cajun chicken but it's got kind of a curry flavor to the sauce. So that's our pasta. Trying to think of any others that stick out in my mind.
You have sliders, don't you?
We used to have sliders, okay. But we just have the burger now. So
well, why would you get a little slider when you can have the big burger, the full ride? You know? Yeah, yeah, exactly.
We had them for a second and just kind of figured out everybody really wanted the full ride, so stuck with that.
The restaurant industry is a lot to take on, and now you have both of these places. It's a lot.
Yeah, it can be, yeah. And our partners have, they also have Finnegan's Wake, Civil, Tinga Taco. So it can be a lot, but it's the restaurant industry is also really rewarding. It's a community. You're building community, and you're a part of it. And so while it's a lot of work, your margins are slim to make money a lot of times, especially with food. You got a lot of labor costs. You also get a really cool community of people if you do it right.
I think you really do, and I think we live in a place where we've got a lot of really good, caring people and a lot of really darn good food. Do you cook at home, or since you have, so you're in the restaurant business to such a degree, do you go out mostly, or do you do a little both?
We do a little both. Our preference is always to eat at home if we can, but we're busy. And so, my husband is a way better cook than I am, so I think we all prefer that he come home and cook if he can.
I always like to ask people like you, where do you go when you're not at one of your own spots? Like, what are your favorites?
We love locally owned spots. Mm-hmm. So, if we're going to go out, it's always a locally owned spot. But I don't know, we love a hole-in-the-wall Mexican place. We try to stick to downtown a lot of times if we can as well. But we're all over. I can't think of anywhere that we consistently go all the time. We try to spread it out.
Well, there's so many places. Just today you mentioned hole-in-the-wall Mexican. La Hacienda over there on Glenstone sits right on the corner.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you just need a couple of crunchy tacos. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
And we live like 3 blocks away from there. So, if it hits dinner time and we have no plans, we will do a call-in to La Hacienda real quick.
I know. We've got some really good food around here. But I admire you for all the work that you do, and your husband and your partners also. I just am amazed at all of the work that goes into keeping a restaurant open, keeping all of these people employed, keeping all of these customers happy and fed who come in the door, who have expectations. And it's a lot of work to keep something like this open, but you're adding to the economy, you're forging friendships, and you're making people successful and, making them a living, and I really admire that. But this place has got to be, at holiday time, incredibly special for you. Oh, there's someone looking through the window. It's so funny when they look through the window. You pointed this out to me. There are characters that you can see from the inside. So when the folks look through the holes in the window, they become part of the character. Was that your idea, or was that your designer?
We actually had a graphic designer that came up with that, and she designed it. Andy Frayne did it for us, and so. It's just adorable. So if someone looks in this side, it's the bunny from A Christmas Story, and so they're just different characters from movies. There's a donkeys behind. So, and they have no idea. That's the funniest part.
Yeah, their face suddenly shows up. There's a third one just stopped and looked through the hole. But I mean, when you look at it from the outside, you can tell there's something really cool going to happen on the inside. Do you enjoy every day as much as you enjoy the first day, or by the end of December, are you kind of like, no more Christmas tunes, no more tinsel, no more, how do you react to that?
I've always been a person that believes you should not put up anything Christmas or listen to Christmas music until after Thanksgiving. However, this has obviously changed our tune. But yeah, by the end of December, I'm ready to put it all away and not think about it until September again.
I can see why. I mean, it's fun, and it seems like forever until the next year rolls around. And by the time that happens, you're ready for it again, just because it's so much fun. But I'm looking forward to coming in and seeing the place filled with people and laughter and families and good food and drink. What are some of the things that we should keep our eyes peeled for in here? Because I haven't really walked around and looked that closely. You don't have to walk around and look that closely. You can sit in one spot and just kind of glance around and see a million things. What are some of the things we need to keep our eyes peeled for?
Well, we're selling some bottles of our hard to find bourbon. So we do have some retail, and you can come in and do some Christmas shopping. Ooh. So, but yeah, we've got like Weller 12 and a lot of the ones that you can't go to the store and buy. So that's something to keep your eyes peeled. We've got, sweatshirts, hats, things like that. But as far as Christmas decor goes, I mean, if you'll find something new every time you come in. Every nook and cranny is covered in something that you may not see this time, but you'll see next time. So all the Christmas trees have little things hidden in them. So yeah, and then once we open we were still working on the back rooms as well. So we'll have some party rooms, and there's one wall just covered in Christmas presents. Well, you may be able to look inside those and see some fun things as well. So.
Oh, a lot of thought went into this. And by the way, you mentioned the Weller. J.O.B. Public House has one hell of an array of bourbons, whiskey. Talk a little bit about that while I've got you.
Yeah, we have over 150 different kinds of bourbons and whiskeys, and so when Danny started this place, it was a bourbon. It is a bourbon bar, but he also spent years collecting the bourbons and getting the hard to finds. We also have our own J.O.B. whiskey that was created just for us as well. So yeah, we're slowly selling some of that collection to make room for some new things as well. So that's why we've got a lot of hard to find things here. So
if you feel like you need a shot of this or that you don't have all the time, you could come here and maybe find it. You got any Pappy back there?
We sure do. Yeah.
Do you now?
We do. Yeah.
Okay. Do you get requests for that very often?
Yeah. Yeah, and so if anyone wants to come in and ask, we do have lists of the whiskeys that we have available. Not all of them are on the shelves. Some of them are down in our cellar, but it's a very extensive list.
Well, this is a very impressive place, and I can't wait. I've got family coming up for Thanksgiving, and they may or may not be listening, but don't tell them I'm going to bring them in here. And they're just going to lose their minds. So anyway, Nicole Brown from J.O.B. Public House and J.HO.HO.B. Pop-Up Christmas Bar. Thank you so much for spending time with me on Savor the Ozarks, and happy holidays.
Thanks. Happy holidays for you. I'm glad to be here.
Be sure to go to AroundTheOzarks.com to sign up for our daily newsletter where you can get every episode of Savor the Ozarks, plus all our other podcasts, events, and contests straight to your inbox. And what are your favorite dishes in the 417? You have any restaurants you'd like me to visit? Email me at joy@AroundTheOzarks.com.